the blue side, and J3X Inferno, J3X Inferno on the side of red. Very apt to their name as well. I'm not expecting anything crazy coming into this. I keep saying that, but more often than not, I say that and then boom, right? A saw ban, a paddle ban, but then we will be seeing, yeah, very meta heroes coming through. Black Feather being banned up by the side of Divas.
So starting off pretty standard, we might see a Ryan ban coming through J3X to counter that, or maybe even Lyra. We've seen a couple of Lyra bans in general, just because she's quite annoying to play against, so it makes sense to try and get rid of that hero as a priority. But we also could see Cruel, that still would work well for them.
Yep, it's for the side of Diva, they haven't quite been performing quite well, to be completely honest, coming into the Vainglory 8. But, coming into this match, they definitely have got a very tough match ahead of them. Although J3X Inferno, they have been playing exceptionally in the previous week itself, although they didn't quite make it quite far. But with the Petal being banned out, once again, I said I'm not gonna be expecting anything crazy, but a Petal ban, I guess it is something that J3X Inferno do not want to go up against.
Yeah, it could suggest they want to play Kestrel or Cruel, heroes like that, which are countered by Petal. Perhaps they're going to pick that up for themselves in the second pick. But this first pick probably going to be Lyra. No, they're going to go Rhyme. A different priority from J3X. They really want to secure that Rhyme. Don't think there were that many counters to it on the fold. Ardent is not a Rhyme counter at all. So this ban, it could be something like a Sky, which is annoying, but I still think Rhyme can do really well against Sky, so that's not too much of a problem. Perhaps if they don't want to pick Kestrel, they could ban it here, but just leaving the Kestrel open for themselves does maybe force a ban away from it, but they want to ban it themselves. Now, in return, I think Vox is the most likely ban, unless they want to get rid of one of the captains, perhaps Lyra.
I think Saw or Lyra should be the ban here. Banning out the Kestrel, which means do mean that you want to play that Saw. It has been a trend, and I mean, Kestrel just does so well against the Saw in the early game. The amount of peer, the sheer amount of poke. I wanted to say poke and sheer in the same word, so it became peer. But anyways, so the amount of poke coming through from a Kestrel onto a Saw in the early game, because of Saw being so immobile, is just quite immense, and we will be seeing a Lyra being taken out of fold. So with Lyra gone, Saw may not be picked up. Maybe a Vox would be quite a good pickup right now for the side of J3X Inferno. But with whatever they pick up here, it will kind of set the pace. They don't have to go for the roam. I mean, they can.
I think they should pick their Grace or Catherine or Lance. That works fine, because if they leave their last pick open, then they have the option to pick Saw. Saw is not good versus Rhyme at all. Saw is so immobile. Rhyme guaranteed to land both portions of the Winter Spire. Doesn't even need to land the root, and he will land the Valkyrie. But now, because Vox has been picked up, you're like, now this could lead us into picking a Saw. Saw Rhyme, pretty good combo with a Lance to initiate, push someone towards that Saw. It can certainly work out, but it would depend on their last jungle picks. I think it's smart from J3X to leave their carry to last so that they can counterpick, make sure they don't set themselves up with a terrible composition. I'd expect to see maybe a Sky coming out from the Divine Aurora, because they don't want to go engage against this Rhyme as something like a Cruel, but they're going to go Rezo against it. That's very risky, Rezo against the Rhyme. You can dodge out some of his Winter Spires with the Troublemaker. I'd love to see a Saw last pick. I think it makes perfect sense. It's good against Vox, fine against Reza, and a really strong pick in the meta.
Yep, and but
Okay.
J3X Inferno will go for that Baron, and Baron can be easily bursted down by this Reza, but of course the cage that Arden will drop will not stop the jump jets, because he has got a block when he overdrive that at level 8. But with that Rhyme being picked up, I'm kind of rocky on this one, because I mean, Mini, we do know that Rhyme will do decently well against a Reza in the early game, because of when it's either the Reza has got the Troublemaker as first ability, if not then the Scorcher. But I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence here as to who I'm going for the draft, because Diva definitely have got a very good early game comp. They can push this Baron out of lane very easily, but of course we have to keep in mind that Rhyme is just constantly on the foe, just being just able to just put out so much damage as well. And Vox, although you can outkite a Rhyme, if you have the mechanics like that of Death Queue, it will be quite a tough job overall.
Yeah, I think that the Reza will be tough because when Reza ults, Rhyme can just wait, see where he emerges, throw the Valkyrie down, and then Reza's kind of stuck. He has to either run away or walk into the Valkyrie. And Rhyme is just such a strong hero. Reza's not going to burst him down with the Aftershock or with the Firestarter proc basic attacks. And so Reza has to focus on Baron and Baron alone with his burst, otherwise it's not going to work. I think that Baron can work quite well. He's quite a strong hero this patch, but he does tend to synergize best with captains like Grace or Lyra, or Arden, who can give him heal, who can give him barrier, so that he can keep himself alive. He has the damage. He doesn't need help with initiation. His jump jets does that for him, but he needs disengage and he needs healing. So I think the Lance doesn't work too well, but it will be annoying for Reza to go up against that in this game.
It will be. I mean, Lance Githin Wall, as long as you can land those impales, those Githin Walls into a wall to try to chain your CCs, it will work very well, and it does synergize very well with that of Rhyme. And then Baron can just basically jump jets in to just clean up if possible. But it will be a very tough fight coming into this game, especially with very mobile heroes like that of Reza, Vox, and adding on to the mobility, you have Arden with that Gauntlet and Vanguard as well. So the comp coming through from the side of Diva, definitely an easier comp to execute. Whereas as long as J3X Inferno can hold it on until the late game, they will have the game.
Yeah, Reza will start to fall off later on in the game we get. Early game to mid game, Reza will be a bit stronger than the Baron. Vox should be able to push Baron out of lane. But as you said, once Baron hits that level 9 power spike, level 2 on his ion cannon, so much increased range on those basic attacks, it's really tough to play against that as a Vox in lane. You really can't, you can not do that much anymore once Baron hits his level 9. So it's really that early game Vox has to pressure, try and take maybe the tier 1 turret a bit early against this Baron, and then it could be going to the side of Divine Aurora. But I agree with you. I think the Baron and Rhyme do such a nice combo together. It's going to be really hard to take down for the side of Divine Aurora. So J3X looking strong, but we are now loading into the Halcyon Fold for the first game between these two teams. Let us know which team you think is going to take the victory. And so casting this game alongside yourself, Luxuria, I request a duel. Take it away.
Hello, and I am the final matchup of today between Divine Aurora and J3X Inferno, so it should be exciting at that. Two very close teams, as we said earlier at the very start of the day. In fact, we were talking about a lot of teams wanting to fight to really change up the current point standings and positionings, and Divine Aurora and J3X Inferno both being those. J3X Inferno with the opportunity to possibly surpass that of 500 first and get past Nebulae as well if they can make it through tomorrow. And with Divine Aurora at least wanting to win today, we'll be able to put them ahead of J3X Inferno and possibly 500 first. So, you know, these teams still both fighting for a lot with being in week 3 and getting close towards the end now. But yeah, I think it's still going to be a very close game and some pretty good drafting coming out across the board.
Yep, very good drafting, but you know, the variables differs for both teams. On the side of J3X Inferno with that Rhyme, with that Baron, they need to slowly take it slow, take it steady, hold it up till the late game. Whereas for the side of Divine Aurora, they need to go like the rabbit. They need to be fast because they do not quite have the stamina like that of J3X Inferno with their hero comp. And so I'm not going to expect a lot of aggression coming through from Divine Aurora. They are not known for that early aggression, and that will fail them, because if they are not aggression, allowing Baron to scale up, it will be very bad. The odds are against them when it goes when versus are going up against a late game team comp like that J3X Inferno is bringing up.
Yep, and I agree with you there. We do see some early aggression up in the lane as of now with Margin on that Arden just helping out Neon C on that box. And here comes the gank from Spitfire very early on, and they will maybe not quite secure that first blood. And here's going to be the re-engage from, oh my, there's going to be a big jump in from Margin. He did dive under turret for it, so he will take massive damage for that. And Kahlua making sure that happens as he helps secure that kill. So a bit of a unnecessary trade there, but they did get the first blood bonus if that could be counted for anything.
Well, I guess Margin needs an extra 300 gold to build, you know, maybe faster a fountain as compared to Kahlua on that lance. So, hey, let's not fault him on that. He got the kill, and the side of J3X Inferno got a kill in return. But now the wave is pushed up against Baby on this Baron. Like I mentioned, a lot of odds, you know, the odds differs for both teams, and I really enjoy seeing this aggression coming through from the side of D.Va. Obviously knowing, you know, that, you know, they have an early game, they are stronger in the early game as compared to the side of J3X Inferno. Even power spike wise, Neon C on that box will reach the initial power spike faster than this Baron, unless Baron goes for the tension bow.
Yep, and we do see the aggression now in favor of J3X Inferno themselves.